So, dude, you seen anything new lately?
There's so many shows out there that
I know, right? About. There's so many shows I want you to see.
There's stuff I want you to see, stuff I want him to see, and there's stuff I want you to see.
We're going to tell you all about it right after this.
Watch this, and then you'll see.
Guys talking, saying anything, nothing new to say, talking anyway, start yammering, can't hear a thing, nothing I can do, so let's have one more brew, one more brew, let's have one more brew, one more brew. Stop talking, try listening, try anything, try whistling. There you go again, saying anything, nothing I can do. So let's have one more brew. One more brew. Let's have one more brew. One more brew.
That's dude.
That's dude.
And welcome to Lazyboys Night. Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Alright, I'm going to say right now, this beer is deceiving. Simply because I know what I'm pouring here, and if you'll notice the nice golden color, this is a stout beer.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's Guilty Remnant, a white stout with coffee, vanilla, and lactose. From,
white stout.
I know, from Blood Brothers Brewing, which we featured.
Blood Brothers.
We featured them on a Christmas episode with the Blood Light. Yeah, it's a white
Blood.
Well, remember how we had a black lager before?
Yeah.
This is the white stout. It's the evil cousin.
Stout.
Yeah. Oh. I really got that hint of vanilla right there.
That's crazy.
And coffee, but oh yeah.
I'm also afraid to drink it.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
What's happening right now?
So it's got lactose, so it is a milk stout.
What is
but
happening
with coffee
right now?
and vanilla. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Blood Brothers, you magnificent bastards.
Wow. That, it's been a while since a beer
had me go, wow.
Yeah, and has thrown me completely off the rails of what I was expecting taste-wise.
You magnificent bastards, you.
Wow. I legitimately want to go check out where you guys are and see how this is made.
They're based in Toronto.
Huh.
I think we might have to do a road trip.
It looks like it's going to be a road trip. This is amazing. The smell, like the bouquet is insane.
Oh my god.
The taste is phenomenal.
This is so perfect for the holidays.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jeebus. Wow.
Whoa.
All right. So,
wow.
We're going to move past the beer.
Holy
hard as it is.
What?
We're going to move past the beer. And,
I just want to drink.
I know.
Turn
I forget what we're talking about tonight.
What are we doing again?
Well, I know what we're doing.
This is an awesome setup, by the way.
So, tonight's episode is our top 6 shows on streaming platforms that must be seen.
Yeah, so...
Must-see TV shows on streaming platforms.
Okay, folks. They need to know this. So, most of the time, I'd say all of the time, we tend to find subjects or subject matter that we either have both seen or we're both aware, so we can have a back and forth conversation. But, dude came up with a brilliant idea of having a show where neither one of us is aware of what the other one's going to be talking about. And the idea behind it is to try to convince each other and you watching that what we want to present is a good idea. Was that
the way dude told it to me is he made sure that what you picked I haven't seen and what I picked you haven't seen. So we're
I was like, that's awesome. I love that idea.
It's not just that we're talking about shows. It's we're also going to be pitched
Yeah.
On what's being presented, because my top 3 picks and his top 3 picks are shows we haven't seen,
which is going to
others.
be weird because usually we see things
We have
together,
commonalities.
so we
There's
can
no
have
commonality
back
here.
and forth, and now it's really
All
going
right.
to be an elevator pitch.
Let's just get on with it,
Right?
and we'll see.
That's freaking
And
awesome.
I'd like to get started.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to get started. First, before I mention the show, I have to mention the main star of the show. This man is a television legend.
Okay.
All right.
Through a few names.
Well, as soon as I mention the first show, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Cheers.
Oh, Ted Danson.
So Ted Danson has been a staple of television since the early 80s.
Yeah.
Where he
Constant, man.
with Cheers, he was Sam Malone and became the highest paid television actor in history at the time. After that, he had Inc. After that, he had Becker. After that, he was like one of the letter shows, NCIS or CIS something.
Yeah.
I forget which one.
Yeah.
And then he did The Good Place, which was
he did a whole bunch of
phenomenal.
other shows too that
And
weren't picked up or this
time and time again, this man has proven his versatility and acting chops
and he's
as a
still
leading man.
amazing today, man. I love watching him.
So currently, right now, he's got a new show on Netflix. It's called Man on the Inside.
I saw the promos for that.
All right, so let me set you up for Man on the Inside and why it's totally worth watching.
Have not seen it at all.
So this is no spoilers by any means. This is just a setup for the premise. You find this all out in the first 15 minutes of the episode 1. Okay, Ted Danson he's recently widowed. He's retired. He's alone at home and he's bored out of his skull. And his daughter's a little worried about him. He's a smart man, and she tells him that he really needs to start being active, getting a hobby. Just go out and do something, find something. And he realizes she's right, and he starts perusing the paper. Now, on the flip side of the story, there's a detective agency that's been hired because there's been a series of thefts in a retirement home.
Okay.
And they need a man on the inside in the retirement home. But the detective, she's a young woman. She can't... So she's looking to hire a senior citizen who could be her man on the inside and snoop around the retirement home. It is a comedy. And the reason she hires him is he's the only senior she found who could actually learn how to send a text on his phone. All the other guys,
That's an awesome setup. Right
It's an awesome setup. But what makes this show great is not only is it funny, all the greatest comedies still manage to have heart. And this show has so much heart at the same time. It's not just about Ted Danson bumbling around trying to play detective. He does a lot of that.
Yeah.
But there's also levels of personal growth and relationships, and it's less about the plot and more about the characters.
Are you telling me it's well written?
It's beautifully written. It's beautifully acted. It's Ted Danson. It's beautifully acted.
Yeah.
And it's got that perfect balance of humor and heart and a little bit of action, just to say a little bit of mystery, what's going on, because it's still a whodunit, only with thefts, not murder. And when we started watching this, we were hooked from the opening scene. We were hooked, and we binge watched the whole thing, and we're like, please. And they set it up for it at the end. We're looking forward to season 2.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It streams on Netflix. A must-see if you want quality comedy.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So when I saw the trailers for that, I was like, right away, for me, as soon as I see Ted Danson,
no brainer.
He could be reading instructions on how to put a Flurfenfergen together.
And I bought one of those on IKEA.
The Flurfenfergen is an awesome piece of furniture.
You just need an Allen key and you're set up.
That's it. But if it's Ted Danson, man, I'm sold, and I'm happy to hear that it is actually it lives up to the expectations.
Oh, totally.
So,
totally. Exceeded expectations.
So you're talking about a classic TV icon in Ted Danson.
Yep.
I watched, beginning to end, a show on Netflix, because we'll do the Netflix thing.
Sure.
So, a show called No Good Deeds.
I saw the trailers for that.
And it has
several classic stars.
Several classic comedians in there, like TV show icons.
So, off the top of my head, it's Ray Romano and Lisa
Kudrow.
So you got Everybody Loves Raymond and Friends right there. Those are two huge sitcoms.
Away. But then when I found out that you have like Dennis Leary, which
really?
Yes.
Oh, I love Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary.
Love Dennis Leary.
You have Luke Wilson.
Oh, nice.
did movies, has done. I love Luke Wilson and everything he's ever done. I think that he always has that low key, that comedic delivery that I always found phenomenal.
He's charming.
But there's Linda Cardinelli.
Oh, I love Linda Cardinelli. If you don't remember who she is, recently she's Hawkeye's wife in the Avengers series. She was Velma on the Scooby-Doo movies.
But dude, she wasn't in a movie with Christina. Sorry, another Netflix series with Christina Applegate.
Okay.
Dead to Me.
I didn't see that.
Dude, that's another. I can talk about.
Anyway, so many shows. So right now it's called No Good Deed, right?
Her right away. I'm a huge fan. Everything she's ever been in, and I have a massive crush on her. But beyond that, as an actress or actor, however you want to call it, phenomenal. So, the premise of this show is you have a couple that want to sell their house. They're in Beverly Hills, Hollywood, LA, whatever you want.
Somewhere around there. Rich neighborhood in LA.
Rich neighborhood in LA. They want to sell their home. They have an open house. Several different people come to the open house, and then you have potential buyers. So you have all these other secondary characters that are interested, but the cool thing about it is you follow the story of the main characters, which is Ray Romano, Lisa Kudrow's characters that own the house.
As they're trying to sell it.
They're trying to sell it, but then you have all these other couples that are trying to buy their house, and you get their story as well. But here's the kicker. It's not a comedy. It's a murder mystery.
Well, I did not expect that, because I was like, okay, it sounds like a character piece.
And most people, because if you look at it, it's a comedic who's who. Like all the other actors too, you'll recognize every one of them. They've all done fantastic things in their careers.
So it's like a list of it's basically a cast of A-listers.
It is an A-lister cast, but the spin on it is you expect comedy, and it's not comedy. It's a murder mystery.
So there's no humor at all?
There's in
a little bit of circumstantial humor, but
exactly. So it's still them. I mean, it's still Dennis Leary. And
because they're all comedians.
It's serious, but their delivery makes it those moments funny.
I know what you're saying.
But it's not a comedy per se.
It's not designed as a comedy. They're just
exactly. So who
bringing
they are,
in their quality.
Exactly. And it's one of these rare shows where I really legitimately had no idea where this is going. You're pulled in, and it's one of... I don't know, spoilers, wait a sec. The way it's set up, it ends in the last... I could comfortably say in the last 5 years of TV, it is the most satisfying ending I've ever had in any show.
Oh, really?
And
intriguing, because so many shows let you down, they don't know how to end.
And the fact that they're able to introduce, and they have to be quick about it, because it's not, I think there's, 8 or 10 episodes. Thank you.
That's the standard now, yeah.
Right? But they have to wrap things up, but they still have to tell a convincing story. So having all of these amazing actors in this situation, which is a completely unique situation where you have the sellers and the buyers and their stories, but they all end up being, obviously,
murder suspects.
Intertwined one way or another. I'm not even going beyond that.
I gotta see this,
dude.
It was already on my list, but now it's just moved up on my list.
Yeah.
It's just moved up.
This is one of those things where the bar comes down. Keep your hands in at all times during the ride,
and just enjoy the ride.
Okay. Just enjoy the ride, and just have fun with it.
All right, I gotta. Like I said, it was already on my list, but now it's just bumped up several notches. Cool. My next pick is a different genre altogether. If you have kids, this is not a kid show, I'm saying, but I'm just saying it's more
Don't
of a
watch with your kids.
no, it's more of a family friendly kind of thing, as opposed to a murder mystery or whatnot. I had no idea what it was when we saw the picture for it on the Disney Plus streaming platform, the thumbnail.
We don't have those.
But recognize the face of the actress. It stars Louisa Harland, who, have you ever watched Dairy Girls?
Yes. I love Dairy Girls.
You know the weird one on Dairy Girls?
Yes.
It stars her.
You sold me already.
Okay.
Dairy Girls, I'm a huge fan. I could have a whole freaking episode just on Dairy Girls.
So Dairy Girls, if you're not that I'm talking about Dairy Girls, but Dairy Girls, one of them is the weird cousin.
Yeah. She's awesome.
She's just so endearing.
Oh my God,
she's never been really the lead of the Dairy Girls, but she's like a strong supporting. But she's just such a nut job in that show, and so I was hooked. We started watching a completely different character, which shows you the range of this actress, because now she's the lead, and she's kind of a butch woman who comes back home after being estranged for a while.
Where's this set?
It's set in England in the, I'm going to guess somewhere around the 1800s.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the local nobility, kind of leaning a little bit on people for this and this and that, and she's sick of it, and she just came back from a war, and she doesn't take crap and defends her dad and kicks butt. And her dad winds up being killed while they're not there, and she gets blamed for stuff, and there's I'm not going to spoil it, but there's this whole false murder intrigue, but there's a supernatural twist to it. There is a little fairy creature who's picked her for some reason. We don't know why. When he inhabits her, she almost becomes superhero-like. She becomes super strong. Yeah.
What?
She becomes like super strong, super fast, super this. So she kicks ass.
What is this streaming on?
Disney Plus.
Holy
And on the flip side,
frick.
there's an evil twist with the nobility where they start to use dark witchcraft to try to stop her. But basically, she becomes an outlaw. Her name is Nell. She becomes Renegade Nell. She's wanted everywhere for crimes against the crown, which, in fact, the crown is guilty of performing, but they blame it on her. And this fairy pixie creature helps her kick butt to try to clear her name. It's a fun adventure. It's a fun family adventure with a little bit of a supernatural twist. But it's beautifully played because the characters are so... It's not like superheroes who are all noble and this and that. They're all like, what the f*** is going on, basically? And they're all just trying to manage to get through this and deal with all the crap. And it's just, it's a fun ride.
That sounds like a blast, man.
But it's just her. She's just so endearing. Even though she's butch at the same time, she's just such a lovable character. You're just rooting for her. You're like, screw the nobility, kick their butts, Nell, come on, you can do it. You're just rooting for her. And it's just, we binge watched it, basically. We started, we're like, oh, this is fun. Another? Yeah.
That's
another?
wild.
Oh, it's bedtime. Okay, tomorrow morning. Another? Boom. And
You
and
know
that's
it's
what it was.
good when.
Yeah. So, if you want a fun family romp, this is the pick for you.
That sounds actually, you know what? Yeah, you sold me on that. That sounds
I sold you because of Louisa Harlan. Yeah.
So, mine is way darker than that one. I'm gonna take a swig first.
It's damn good. I gotta take another swig. Mm-hmm. Oh, seriously, I wish like smell-o-vision existed.
Oh, this is.
Dude, seriously,
For
just
real?
do this again.
I know, I can smell it already.
Oh my god.
We very rarely talk about the beer within the show itself. It's usually just at the beginning, but that blows me away. Yeah. Anyways, we digress. What do we do best? We digress.
Your next pick.
My next pick is one of these very rare moments in TV history where I have been blown away by the story, the writing, the cinematography, the acting, like
All around everything's beautiful.
Every single aspect of this is amazing, and it's based off of a small-ish character in another movie. So it's a spin-off of a movie. And they took this one character because of the way it was played, and they were able to create this whole world. I'm talking about the Penguin.
So you mean like the Penguin from the Batman movie?
From the Batman, the latest Batman movie.
Oh, I think here.
Yeah, it's right there. Because I'm a huge fan now. It's unreal. Like, even when I watched, I did not want to see the Batman movie. I'm like, okay, they're rebooting a DC. You guys are doing it again. Stop rebooting stuff.
That was a good movie though.
Every other year, and I'm like, ugh. And it's I can't help myself.
We're not going that way though. Bring it back to the Penguin.
But even that, the movie, I ended up enjoying it. I was like, what? This is an awesome movie. Because of the movie, when I found out that they had a series on the Penguin,
I have yet to watch it. Again, it's on my list.
So, folks, okay, the Penguin is played by Colin Farrell.
Go figure. Look at this picture and look at what Colin Farrell actually looks like. The makeup person
put a side by side.
Every award.
Okay, you're seeing the side by side. So,
unbelievable.
So you have the Penguin, Colin Farrell, and then you have the other main character that's just as important, Christine Milioti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Christine Milioti.
Milioti?
If you're not familiar with her, the last season of How I Met Your Mother, she's the mother.
Shut up! That was her. That's why I recognize her.
She's the mother.
Dude,
on How I Met Your Mother.
In the Penguin. Oh, that's awesome! I'm so happy you freaking. Oh man. Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah. She's insanely awesome in this movie. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I have the last time I saw this type of a show that gave me this much back as a studio member, like being pulled into, was The Sopranos. Because it is a gangster.
It is. Obviously, the Penguin is a monster.
Right? So the whole idea is within the world of Batman, right? So you have Batman's city is Gotham
City,
which is New York, but it's Gotham City. Within Gotham is corrupt. That's why Batman exists and everything else. Penguin has a huge role to play, but they've never been able to play. They've always played it like it's very difficult because Penguin is very cartoonish.
He is. Burgess Meredith, Danny DeVito.
Yeah, so the way they created this character, the fact that they found, you saw the photo of this actor playing this role with so much prosthetics and still being able to deliver. I'm doing this because I've watched so much mob movies, man.
Yeah.
But
now you're holding your boobs.
Beyond being, you could easily take away Batman out of the whole thing. Like, pretend it's not even a Batman.
Well, didn't they do that for the show?
He doesn't show up. They don't even talk about it.
Yeah, so Batman's not
at all. Like, he's not even a part of this TV show at all.
Now, is the
show? It is a gangster movie.
Is the show set before the Batman movie?
It's right after. Like,
so Batman already exists.
Yeah.
So it's after Falcone went down.
Dude, it happens like legitimately as soon as the movie stops.
Yeah.
This TV show picks up.
Okay. So Falcone's down. There's a power vacuum.
Full disclosure: if you want to immerse yourself. Immerse yourself is the best.
Yeah.
Watch The Batman. All right.
That's the Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. So regardless if you enjoy the movie itself or not, I'm telling you right now, pay attention to the Penguin character specifically. Pay attention to the mobsters, all right, within that movie. That will guide you within the TV show because they spend a little bit on what happened in the movie, but not so much that you lose yourself going, I haven't seen the movie, I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Well, the basic setup is the movie, the local mob boss gets offed, and so there's that power vacuum, and the Penguin was one of his number one henchmen. So I'm guessing that's where it starts. Penguin is now filling that power vacuum.
Yeah, it's even way better than that.
Oh.
That's no.
That's just basic.
That's basic, man.
Okay.
Like the way this is set up, and I'm telling you, the level of acting, the amount of the writing is phenomenal. I have rarely in my life seen a TV show so well put together that I hope to the universe, the Hollywood universe, that they never ever make a movie out of this. I hope they keep it to HBO, because that's where you can
that's
find
where streaming. Right?
Certain streaming services will carry it as well, right? But it's HBO that is that is not producing it, distributing it. But again, you have to be able to enjoy almost film noir.
Yes, like, it's very.
There's a lot also when there is violence. It's meant to shock you. It's not gratuitous in any way. The violence is legitimately there to shock you, to be in that moment, and that's what it does so well.
It's not extended fight scenes and all this. It's just brutal, bang, mobster style.
It's mobster style.
Wow.
And the one of the main characters, well, both main characters, but Christine as character, her character. This is what like we talking about often in 2024. We talked a lot about strong female characters.
Yes,
right? She is legitimately 100% written unbelievably well as a strong female character that has gone through extensive trauma and has risen above and is aware of who she is, what she's involved in, and where she needs to go. It's phenomenal.
Okay, so that's twice now that you've taken shows that are already on my list and you've bumped them up on the list.
Crazy.
All right.
I could not. If you ever seen The Sopranos, imagine The Sopranos on steroids. That's what I'm telling you, right?
All right. So I'm gonna take a turn away from the dark. Maybe it's just me. I don't get me wrong. I like those shows and I want to see this. But I also I love.
Oh no, you're not gonna talk about the Teletubbies.
Yes.
Oh, great! I knew it was gonna be Teletubbies.
No, I do love comedies. One thing I've noticed is there's a trend, sometimes successful, sometimes not. Hollywood's has always looked across the pond and looked at British shows that are popular and then appropriated them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they fail miserably and they make it horrible. Sometimes they take something and they make it even bigger.
Yes.
A few examples, these are not the shows I'm talking about, but I'm thinking Man About the House in England became Three's Company in the States. And Man About the House had a few seasons, I don't know how many, 6 episodes a season, they only do so much. Three's Company ran for what, 8 seasons?
At minimum.
And those were the days when you had like 24 episodes a season too. So, The Office, Ricky Gervais, brilliant. They did a couple seasons of The Office. What do? They did it here. The Office ran, what, 8 seasons again? Mm-hmm. Another series they've done like that, and we just enjoy the crap out of it. Have you seen Ghosts?
No, I have not.
So here's the premise of Ghosts.
That's a British, like original.
Ghosts was originally British. They had 5 seasons of Ghosts, but 6 episodes. They did 30 episodes.
Yeah.
The American version has, I think they do, what's the trend now is about 13 episodes a season. Yeah. But still, they've already exceeded and gone beyond. And here's where I'll tell you why I think the American versions, when they succeed, they wind up being better. The premise is this. This woman inherits this house because a relative she wasn't even aware of dies. She's the sole living relative, and it's this big countryside mansion. Her and her husband are broke, and they need, boom, we inherit this big giant house. He's a chef. They decide to convert it into a bed and breakfast and start making money.
Okay.
What they don't know is the house is haunted. And we're not talking about haunted, spooky ghosts. Basically, what happens is when you die, you either get, and this is the term they use, sucked off, or you stay.
Okay.
And when you stay, you're still wearing the same clothes you were wearing when you died. You look like the moment you died.
This is a sitcom, right?
It is a sitcom.
Okay.
It's very funny. So, and they're not malevolent ghosts. They're just people who are stuck on the property. And for some reason, the property line is their boundary. They can't cross that.
Okay.
They're stuck in there. And while they're visiting the house, some of the ghosts have these weird powers. Like one of them is able, if he concentrates really, really, really hard, he's like, he can actually nudge things and make them fall over. One of them, when you walk through them, he died of dysentery, so like he basically shit himself to death. It smells like crap when you walk through him. Things like that. One of them, he got struck by lightning so he can actually affect electricity in the house because of it. One of them was a jazz singer, and if she sings loud enough, you can actually kind of hear her a little bit, so you hear that wailing noise. But anyways, they don't want somebody new in the house. And the guy he knocks a vase over right near the staircase as she's walking by. She trips and falls down and has a near-death experience. She almost dies from the fall. But because of that, she can now see them.
She's connected?
She's connected. She can see them.
Huh.
And now they're actually happy because now somebody sees them. Somebody can change the channels on the television for them. Because they're bored out of their skulls. Some of them have been there for centuries. All right? Now, the original show in England, they kept some of the characters the same. Like, there was one guy who was a scout leader, and he died because one of the kids shot an arrow, and he's stuck with an arrow through his neck. Others, they changed completely and so forth. While I will say my favorite character of all was a guy who was a caveman from the British version. He's been around for millennia. The American version...
What is he doing in the mansion?
He died on the property.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's the property.
Although there were no property lines back then, so I don't know about it. They don't explain it. But anyways,
okay, fine. That's okay.
But the American version, some of the characters are the same, some are a little different. But you have all these interesting ghosts, and it's the dynamic of being stuck in the house with them, and she's the only one who can see them, and it is funny AF. But at the same time, the characters are endearing, and that's the difference. The BBC version doesn't have enough time to really explore character depth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to this sitcom plot point. The American version has more time to explore character depth. And the characters grow, they evolve. They don't just stay what it is. Now that they can interact with someone and have more access to what's happening on the outside world, they actually start to grow and become more interesting characters. And because of that, it is brilliant. Now, fun side fact, it's filmed in a studio in Montreal. But the mansion, the outside of the mansion, is actually a house in Montebello,
What?
which is about an hour
out of the Hollywood Hills,
east of the Canadian Hollywood Hills. Yeah, so it's
What?
it's shot.
That's
The outside
wild.
shots are in Montebello,
No way.
and the rest is shot on a soundstage in Montreal.
That's pretty
It
cool.
stars Rose McIver, and my apologies, I cannot pronounce the lead male, her husband's name. So, dude's just gonna write it right here. My
I
apologies.
dare you to pronounce that.
It's and a whole bunch of other people, but it is just funny and endearing.
Okay.
I watched both versions. I think the American is superior to the British, although my favorite character is the caveman from the British one. But nonetheless, this is one of those things. It's quirky, classic sitcom situations, but you don't get tired of it. You're like, oh,
And
I'm
that's
having
an
fun with it.
actual old school like network
Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah,
That's
totally.
like on TV, folks. I'm sure you can stream it somewhere, but it's an old.
It's currently on Paramount Plus, but yeah, you look around, you'll find
yeah,
it.
you'll find it for sure.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never
Yep.
thought about that. So, here we are. The very last recommendation. This is a documentary,
Ooh.
but it's a documentary that I never knew I needed until I watched it and realized how impactful it was.
So what's the topic?
We're talking about the Tragically Hip.
I heard about that.
So the documentary is it's streaming on what the
Is it
hell?
Prime?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is on Prime. So the Tragically Hip documentary is if okay, as proud Canadians, if there was one band, there's multiple. Like throughout the history, you know, we're talking about in the world of rock and roll, and but if there's one band that
embodies
the Canadian spirit and how we identify ourselves, and how this band was surprised at how much people embraced them. This movie, it's several parts. Right, so I remember. I think there's 6 parts of this. When I started watching it, I was pulled in. It's so well done, and there's footage of the band in their early years. And
the band started in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
And gained popularity with their first album, with their first hit album. Up to here, they started in '84. I think Up to Here came out in '87.
But the amount of albums that came out was like, and then when we're going through, again, because I remember watching their final concert.
So, side note for viewers who don't know the Tragically Hip,
again,
Gord
this
Downie.
is why I bring him in here.
Gord Downie, the lead singer for the Tragically Hip, was basically, he was more than just a lead singer. He was like a poet. He was a cultural icon and revered throughout. And sadly, I don't know the specific disease, but it was some kind of brain cancer or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they chose to do a final tour. And their final show was in their hometown, Kingston.
Yeah.
Kingston, Ontario. In fact, the street their big stadium is on was renamed the Tragically Hip Way.
Yeah.
Because of that. And sadly, we lost Gord Downie to this disease, I believe in 2017?
Yeah.
2016 or 2017? I think it's 2017.
I just watched it and I can't even.
I think it's 2017. But
for me, it's recent. I feel like it was last year.
They
honestly.
were, and I think still are, the modern musical icon of Canada.
It's one of those things where it's weird enough, because when you're watching it, they explain a lot of the songs, where the inspiration came from.
And they never wrote little pop jingles and little love ballads and whatnot. Every song was like a story, something impactful about
I watched
Canada.
it, and he's talking about it more than I am.
One of my favorites sometimes is 38 Years Old, which dealt about somebody who was in prison.
Yes, they talk about that as well.
Murder because he
I don't have to say
defended his
anything.
sister had been raped and all that.
Continue.
It's just anyway, no, please, I can't. I'm getting a little verklempt. I missed Gord Downie. I miss him.
Okay.
Yes.
So obviously he's gonna watch it.
Oh hell yeah!
I recommend it for you as well. So check it out on Prime. Regardless of where you are on this fine planet, if you don't have it, ask for it. It's worth it. If you want to know what the Canadian identity is,
Musically,
this in every way, because Gord Downie,
he wrote about our history. He wrote about our culture.
He took things out literally out of news outlets. What was happening in Canadian life, and he would write songs about it. I'm not going to go through the whole freaking
extensive catalog.
But there are things that I learned. There are things that I didn't even know about. There are things that amaze me. There's things that made
50 Mission Cap, Wheat Kings. They all have bits of our history in there.
We had beers from Bob Cajun. You know,
we did. Bob Cajun. That's another great song.
We had an episode where the beer we were having, Bob Cajun, is based on one of their songs, and their songs were always about Canadiana. But the thing is if you please do watch this documentary. It was actually directed and brought to life by his brother.
Produced.
By
Gord Downie's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where when you start watching it, whatever appreciation you did have for the music, it delivers it even more so.
It's going to deepen it.
It's one of those things where, funny enough, when I was watching it, and they were going, because they go through all their different albums, right? So all those albums, I started going through them and going, oh my God, I have that one. I have that one. I have that one. I have that one.
I have
that one. And I was like, holy frick, I know that song, that song, that song, that song, that song. And when I was watching this, I realized how much of an impact they actually did have on my life.
Even their lesser hits, you still know.
I still know them.
You
like
still,
everything they were talking about.
The whole album.
What?
You wouldn't just listen to pop in that one song. You would listen to the whole damn CD. Yes, we would listen to CDs back then because that's all we were.
But you have special guests that come into the documentary and they make their own comments. And one that stood out for me that I didn't realize is Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, Dan Aykroyd's always been a huge fan.
Massive fan of the hip, right, that we call him over here. But the Tragically Hip, and they never really broke out. I mean, they were still on Saturday Night Live and everything else, but they never really broke out. Even though there's in Europe,
broke out of the Canadian market, yeah.
Yeah, so Canada, we embraced them, and it's almost like we didn't want to let them go.
They were our little special secret.
But when they did go to Europe, when they did go to the States, the fans were relentless. They were amazing fans. They just adored them. So my final recommendation, if you get a moment, if you want to have that moment on a nice weekend, a nice evening, something to watch, go watch it. Go watch this documentary on Prime.
Again, something on my list that now has been bumped up. Yeah. Dude, you keep doing this to me.
Yep. So just there we go.
No, just for that, I'm throwing a wrench.
Oh.
I'm throwing an honorable mention.
I have an honorable mention too.
All right, well, let's start with mine.
What's yours?
This is a show that is based on a book series. And the book series was made into a couple of movies, which were a little disappointing because the lead actor, I have nothing against the lead actor. I think he's a great action star. But the lead actor in real life is nothing like the character in the books.
Yeah.
And the lead actor has a lot of influence, so kind of twisted it to a la his style. This TV series said, screw these movies, we're doing it based on the books, and they got an actor who looks the part, who plays the part, and they showed the real thing.
I know exactly who you're
So
talking
the
about.
series is called Reacher.
Yeah.
Which is on Prime.
I have yet to see it.
Tom Cruise did Jack Reacher and a sequel, Jack Reacher or something, I forget what it's called. And no offense to Tom Cruise, I enjoy Tom Cruise movies. He's entertaining. Love him in Mission Impossible. But Jack Reacher is supposed to be like a 6'5" blonde muscle man, straight out of the military, who's like minimalist in life. I mean, he just goes from town to town carrying a toothbrush, and that's all he needs. And when he needs fresh clothes, he just goes to a thrift shop, tries something new, leaves what he had behind, and walks out with that, and that's it. Whereas the Tom Cruise movies made it a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Now, it's played, the series is played by Alan Richardson, which we mentioned when we reviewed the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes.
He's the one who is absolutely psycho, killing everybody. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And in this series, there's 2 seasons now. And please, I'm begging the Prime Gods that they do a season 3 of Reacher. So I gotta talk about. Basically, he's ex-military. Yeah. More specifically, he's ex-military police investigating other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a team with him. In season 1, you don't see that as much. It's more of a lone wolf thing. In season 2, he's got his ex-team with him. But the character is just so interesting and well portrayed. And he's just this no-nonsense, big guy, smart, doesn't cape crap, and he just dominates. There's a lot of action, a lot of fight sequences, well choreographed, well done, not over the top. You know what? Sometimes you see something, you're like, okay.
So it's like it's real.
Yeah.
Like if he's punching, you feel like it's a real.
It's not
punch.
like Matrix fights where it just goes on forever. You're exaggerating. No. It's just this is how people who are combat specialists
how we would actually
deal with stuff.
Yeah.
But entertaining. You know?
Nice.
Good plot, good, something's happening, investigation going on, so good police work, good this, good that. But it's just, it's taking what Tom Cruise tried to do with the movies and actually made it faithful to the books.
Okay.
And totally need to see this.
I'm realizing how much stuff is out there, man.
There's so much TV to see, so little time.
At no other time in human history have we had access to so much.
There used to be, 3 American networks and 2 Canadian ones? And now there's like, every streaming platform has their thing and every other show.
We have to pick and choose what we're, like, holy frick,
Anyways,
man.
Here are 6 picks for you.
Whoa.
Hopefully you enjoy at least one of them.
Yeah, so you had your...
And you know what?
Wait.
Before you watch those...
You had your little...
Oh, that's right. You have an honorable mention too. I'm so sorry.
My honorable mention.
I'm so sorry. Please, what is yours?
So I just want to make it clear before I go on to my honorable mention, right?
You gotta hurry. I'm almost out of beer.
So, I kept talking about the Tragically Hip and the actual documentary. And I feel kind of bad that throughout the whole thing we kept talking about Gord Downey's brother. Mike Downey is actually the person that put this all together. It's actually his brother. So it's worth mentioning his name. Not just, I know you've gone through most of your life knowing, as
You're Gord Downey's brother, yeah.
Mike, you did an awesome job. Specifically you.
I haven't seen it yet, Mike, but I look forward to looking at your masterpiece.
Before I go into anything, I just want to make sure that I'm not even sure what we were talking about it, if I mentioned you or not.
You didn't say the name. You mentioned the brother.
We're talking about the brother and go, that's horrible. I'm like, no, before we move on, I want to make sure that you get the proper shout out because you did an awesome job.
There you go. Now, what is your honorable mention?
You were talking about, and that freaking blew my mind, man, when you're talking about one of your shows, one of the actresses. That's from Dairy Girls.
Oh, so Dairy Girls is your honorable mention.
Dairy Girls is my honorable.
I've seen Dairy Girls and I support this mention.
I've watched Dairy Girls twice.
Oh.
From beginning to end. I have rarely, in the last few years, laughed as much as I did watching Dairy Girls.
Now, I will set the record straight. It is not your traditional comedy.
Not even close.
Not even close.
It's better.
It's what it is. It's basically 4 teenage girl and one
80s?
Guy in the 90s.
Oh, yes, true. It's in the 90s.
In the 90s,
yes,
in Ireland,
90s.
when there was still the military presence because of the whole NRA thing. Not the NRA, but the... No, that's the National Rifle Association.
As if... Dude, help us out. This is where you chime in.
This is where we have the historical brain first. But anyways...
Come on.
And it's about them growing up in this small town in Ireland
times.
with the conflict with England at the time, and just trying to still be a teenager in a Catholic schoolgirl, a Catholic girl for school, where there's one boy who's the cousin who was sent. He's from England. He's British, and he's stuck in the there's no boys' room.
So
and
it's like
just
the one line when it first starts off, and it's the first day of school, and she brings her cousin, and he starts talking and going, "Who's that?" It's like, what is he saying?
Because he has a British accent, not an Irish accent.
Oh my God! Anyways, I laughed so much. I really, when I was done, I started all over again.
It's one of those shows again that I think what makes a great comedy is they're funny, but they're still heart.
Yeah.
There's still heart, there's still conflict, and you still see these girls and their families are having to go through the military occupation and the
I don't even have
conflict
to
that's
say
going
anything.
on.
He can say it all for me.
Well, because I've seen this
He
one.
can all say it all for me.
It's beautifully done, beautifully acted.
And the accents, I
yeah.
love those accents.
But they're not so harsh that we can't understand what's going on. Because every now and then you see like an Irish film, and you're like, I don't know what they're saying.
Well, not even. I was watching Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
And there's parts of Peaky Blinders I had to put down subtext because I go, I'm not.
I was the same way with the
following.
Commitments. When you remember the Commitments?
Commitments.
I was like, I don't know what he said there. What?
Right.
It takes a while to get it. You don't have that problem with this.
Dairy Girls, go check it out.
And that's Derry, not Dairy.
Because it's where they're from,
Yeah,
right?
it's a place called Derry.
So, if you need to, if you're going to watch it, at the beginning, put the subtext. And it's going to help your ear get used to the accent. But as you move along in the series, you won't need it anymore. But it's comedic genius. It's fantastic, and
it feels like real teenage life.
It's very real.
Great pick.
Awesome.
Great pick.
So we're done. So with us being done, one thing. Oh my God! I wish you
subscribe,
do that,
and then like and share.
Right.
And then please tell us what you think is must see on streaming platforms right now.
Yeah. So tell us. Go down. Leave a comment. We'll go read it. Dude, follow up if he needs to. But just so that, if not, I'll go in. You'll see me. DOOD. That's me.
I think they know how to write your name.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
It's new. Maybe this is our first episode. But whatever it is, thank you for watching.
And see you next Thursday.
And we'll see you next time. Cheers, dude.